up, everybody, man? Crazy, crazy, crazy. I'll say it one more time. Crazy week in football, man. Hey, listen, man. If you love football, this was the week for football, man. I gotta tell you, man, I was a little disappointed with how Brady went out. It wasn't his fault. I mean, he took his team back 25-point deficit to tie the game, and the defense blew it. The coach blew it. You know, how do you blitz and not blitz? If you're going to blitz, blitz. If you're going to do it, do it. Don't do it half-ass and bring in 3 people. If you're going to do it, go balls out. And how do you do it twice? I mean, Cooper Kupp got you once. Don't let him get you twice. He's the only guy that catches the ball in the Rams. You know, I was a little disappointed, but I'll be honest with you. It's the first time I won money on a game and was pissed off. I won the game. I took the Rams +3, and I was pissed, dude. I was pissed because I didn't want to see Brady go out like that, you know?
Yeah, I also bet on the Rams, but I was rooting for the Bucks, being a Florida guy. So, hey, by the way, welcome to the Hanging with Mark Dougie show. By the way, Mark's so excited about. He's so excited about the fucking playoffs and shit in football, and talk about his boy Brady, his man.
I thought you were just talking, bro. I forgot we had a show for a second. You know,
right? Welcome to the show. Exactly. Yeah, dude. I mean, what an exciting weekend, right? I mean, of course, the second game, 3 lead changes in the last minute and a half, in that game, and you know football probably better than me. And all I kept thinking was when they kicked the ball off to Mahomes after they got the field goal, whatever, and then they kick it into the end zone. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, you're in a professional level. How could a coach make such a stupid call?
It is. You got to run time off that clock. Mahomes can do it. I mean, I think there was 14 seconds left. If you kick it on the 2-3 and he has to run it out, that's 6-7 seconds, man. You don't have time for 2 plays. Yeah, I mean, there was some bad coaching on both. And I'm going to go back to the first game real quick. There was 2. I mean, Brady just almost made the most miraculous comeback ever. I mean, if he would have done this, we've been talking about this 20 years from now. I mean, down 25 points, that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty was ridiculous. He's bleeding from the mouth. He obviously got hit in the mouth. He's bleeding. He's bleeding from the mouth. He didn't punch himself, okay? I mean, add insult to injury, you give him a 15-yard penalty? If you don't want to call the play and you fucked up and you missed it, okay. Don't fucking give the guy, because he pointed out your mistake. He pointed out your mistake, so you give him another flag. So, yeah, I was a little aggravated with it. But you know what? I was watching his page because, I'm a Brady fan, and I think he's retiring, bro. I really think he's retiring because he made a comment and said his kids need him home and his wife doesn't want to watch him get any more hits. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is Brady's last year. And I love Bruce Arians. What a douchebag. I love him after he fucked up on that play. They asked him about, if Brady retires, what are you going to do? Instead of saying, wow, it's going to be tough, man, you can't replace him, he says, we got other quarterbacks. No, you don't. You got Kyle Trask and Blaine Gabbert, who sucked dick for fucking 8 years, 10 years. You have nobody else. Brady is the reason why you went to the Super Bowl and won, and you almost went the second time. I mean, just admit it, So, and they're going to lose Gronk. Well, Gronk's not going to play Brady.
Yeah. Do you think Gronk will go somewhere else, though? Or is he going to just retire again?
Gronk already said he'll retire. He said when Brady, and now Mike Evans is talking about that. But Gronk said when Brady goes, he goes. He only came back as a favorite of Brady. He said that, he wanted to do one more thing with Brady. So, it was exciting football. Even though they lost. And how the fuck did the 49ers get? How did Aaron Rodgers shit the bed so bad? That first drive, he went like it was chopped liver, dude. He was going through the defense like they weren't even there, high school team. And then the next 7 drives, he can't do anything. But he always chokes, dude. He played a shitty team. The 49ers suck. Jimmy G is the worst quarterback in the NFL.
Well, I'll say this. I like Aaron Rodgers. And I definitely like the way he's calling out Biden.
Yeah.
And,
that I like.
Yeah. This was in the news. Aaron Rodgers, rips President Biden, says the he doesn't trust the CDC, and who does nowadays?
Oh, who does?
I mean, with the nonsense of mixed messages we're getting. But, what are we
up to, like 10 booster shots now? We're up to 10 booster shots now? You're going to get one every weekend?
Yeah, no, the CDC says, like, if you have an electric car, you got to keep plugging your ass. Pretty soon they're just going to get the vaccine in our homes, and every time you come home, you got to plug in like a fucking cell phone.
Exactly.
I had a discussion with somebody about that from LA this weekend. They're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're not vaccinated." Here we go again. I go, dude, worry about your fucking self, first of all.
Yeah.
I go, second of all, I've had COVID now twice. So I'm really
You
not
still
worried
live.
about I'm not worried about fucking COVID. You know what I mean? My problem is I need some help with the stock market. The stock market's been fucking like bipolar. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I guess I was spoiled because for a while there we had a nice continuous rise, and now it's time to pay the piper, everybody. So
It
just
always
relax.
happens when you have bad leadership. That always happens. It happens all the time.
Yeah, I like my friends who were talking about there about a month or two ago. They're like, "Look at Biden, look at the stock market." I'm like, "Dude, it's only been a year. Let's see what activity occurs." And the only reason some of the market was doing good early in his presidency was because they figured he wasn't going to be able to get anything done. And now we have to worry about the repercussions of his inabilities. But
He was also coming off Trump's presidency too. Trump's presidency was doing so well that you always have 6-7 months of after effect of when you have a good president in office.
I mean, being this is my profession, I'll tell you my personal feeling is giving a president credit for the economy is like giving a rooster credit for the sunrise. That's an old quote from an earlier debate from years ago. But they can, like when Trump came, there was a big positive influence because the market said,
Yes.
okay, it's going to be business friendly, breaking down and so there are moments in time it can help, but ultimately it's going to be a global, economy and shit. And
When people get scared, and Biden's got a lot of people scared. When people get scared, they reach out for their money. They reach out for everything. They're afraid to invest. They want to hold on to everything they got. It's a fact. I mean, and right now Biden is scaring a lot of people, dude, including me. I'm scared. I don't know about you. I mean, he's doing a lot of crazy shit.
Yeah, well, you know who's not scared about Biden? Putin.
Putin. Yeah, no,
Putin ain't
yeah,
scared of him.
no,
She in China isn't scared.
no. North Korea's
I
not
mean,
scared.
they're not scared. North Korea's got a supersonic weapon, missile
Yeah,
now. We don't. So,
yeah. And that's all
uh,
part of everything, man. People have fear.
yeah, it's
Like
when
COVID.
you're
They put fear in
when you're
everybody.
when you're president and the person who's leading your country doesn't even look like he could lead himself to the bathroom to take a piss at night. Um, listen, anybody watching this show, and I couldn't imagine many Biden supporters are watching us, but if you still,
Hold
if you,
on, Doug, hold on a second. Are there Biden supporters anymore? Was he 22%? There's no Biden support. No one's supporting
well,
Biden anymore.
Dude, there are still people. I had a conversation with somebody from LA this week, and they're like, I don't, I looked at them, I go, for this year, you still believe in this Muppet? I mean, are you kidding me? And he's like, oh, he's better than Trump. I go, dude, I go, you're so fucking ridiculous that, and then, even worse is Kamala Harris. I mean, she
Oh,
spoke, she spoke yesterday on Sunday or what I think it was, talking about stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, when she reads, she sounds like a high school student, reading from it's like, oh my, can we just, I mean, oh, can
this has definitely been the worst.
2024 come fast enough?
Exactly. This has been the worst combination that we've ever seen. I mean, sometimes you'll get a bad president and a good vice president. It's happened over the years. This is the worst. Like Dick Cheney was good and the president wasn't so good. This is the worst combo you could ever have. They're both. One
Yeah.
is senile, and the other one's a complete imbecile. There was a reason why she was at 2%. When she ran for president, she was at 2%.
Yeah.
There's a reason why, and yeah, I mean, we'll just have to see what happens, man. I can't imagine a Democrat ever being in office again. I just can't. I
Well,
don't care if they cheat. I don't care what they do. I can't imagine it. I just can't imagine it.
well, we're winning. At
Yeah.
least we're winning all that. Like they can't. The voters didn't get. Thank you for Manchin and Cinema who did not
Yeah.
vote for the filibuster and allow that. And now people. The funny thing in I think it's Arizona, wherever Cinema's from, or New Mexico. I can't remember. But they're her own party are trying to like censure her, as they
Yeah.
said. Keep her from getting money, political money. And it's amazing how people just try to shut things down. Like the great thing about America, sports and stuff like that, is competition. Business. Competition just breeds success and better people. But in politics, it's not about that. It seems like let's bury people, let's keep them from getting out there, and then so we can shine. And let's see what happens. Hey, speaking of
Let's
bad
control
losers,
everything. Yep.
Antonio Brown, did you see his tweet?
What a douchebag. You know what? It's so funny I remember when he got to the Patriots. I was a Patriots fan because I liked Brady before I became a Bucks fan. I followed Brady. But I remember when he went to the Patriots, I'm like, why do we need him? He was with 7 or 8 years with Roethlisberger, didn't do anything. Why do we need? He's a head case, bro. I think he's more of a distraction. Everybody's saying, oh, they lost because of a Tony Brown. No, they didn't. Brady came back 31-31. They lost because of bad coaching and because they lost their number one tackle, Wirfs. And Aaron Donald had a field day coming in the first half of the game. He had a field day because had Jonathan Wells, the backup tackle, going against Aaron Donald, the greatest defensive player we've seen in the last 40 years. That's why they lost, okay? Not because Antonio Brown. Players like that are a distraction. And you know what? This guy gave him so many chances, Tom Brady, and to shit on him like that. You know, why wouldn't you root for this guy? It was your demise. It wasn't Tom Brady the reason why you're out of the NFL. It's because you're a douchebag. You had so many chances. Brady gave you another chance, and then you shit on the guy? Fuck him. He's a piece of shit.
I mean, that's got to weigh in on whoever is thinking about taking him on, right? Like you said, he's a distraction, and I don't care how talented you are. If you have to be extremely talented if you're going to be that bit much of a distraction in the locker room and on the field. But I just see that, and it's like who's going to look at his antics now and go, oh yeah, we want that guy on our team.
Let me tell you something. If Tom Brady can't control you, and he controlled Randy Moss, he's controlled some of the players that always had issues in the NFL. If Tom Brady can't control you with the winning attitude, and Bill Belichick can't control you, you can't be controlled. And you know why everybody's saying, oh, but mental issues are a serious thing. Fuck you. You know what? Mental issues are a serious thing, but when mental issues are only when on one side, when things don't go your way, they're not mental issues anymore. You're not running around naked in the middle of the street when things go your way. That's called being a pussy crybaby, not mental issues. Okay. I've seen people have mental issues. I've been around people with mental issues. He doesn't have mental issues. He's a fucking crybaby pussy. That's what he is.
Yeah. Listen, who doesn't have mental issues nowadays? We're in a day and age where there's so much shit and drama and stress, and all this crap going on. Who the fuck? I don't buy that. Today I had a weird day. I felt like just, like fucking ending it all, but I didn't, because that's the way it is, I need somebody to help me. I mean, that's the way it is. There's a lot of crazy shit going on. We got a lot of pressure. You got the pandemic. You got fucking Russia. There's the Chinese, the fucking.
You can't control it, Doug. You can't control it. So why make yourself aggravated? That's how I look at it, man. Every time, because my girlfriend says sometimes, I wish I hit the lottery. I'm like, you hit the lottery already. You're successful. You're the top 3%. Everybody wants to be the top 1%. And you can't, not everybody can be the top 1%. I just don't want to be the bottom 5%. You know what I'm saying? As long as I'm not the bottom 5%, I'm happy, man. I just hate, I get it, Doug, but everybody has issues, but some people have real fucking issues.
So Mark, you're saying you don't like to be, on the bottom?
I'm not a bottom.
He's not a bottom.
Never have, never will. Not even with Tom Brady. But what I'm saying is everybody has things, but there's a famous saying, I was once complained because I had no shoes, then I seen somebody had no feet. There's always somebody worse than you are. You know what I'm saying? And you just got to be happy with what you got in life, man. Life's a pretty fucking magical thing, man. It's pretty magical, man.
Yeah, that's the exercise I go through, right? And when you start feeling like that, you start thinking, well, I have this, I got this, and then you're right out of it. And I don't feel bad for this guy. Like, you cannot just defend somebody's action by, oh, they got mental issues. Well, fuck.
But he doesn't have mental issues. He doesn't have mental issues. If he had mental issues, he's a child. Thank you. Because he only has mental issues when things don't go his way. Those aren't mental issues. That's being a spoiled baby.
Yeah.
It's not like he's catching flies on the side of the road. He's a normal guy. He just, when he doesn't get his way, he's like Colin Kaepernick and all these other fucking pussies that can't handle things when things don't go their way. And then they act out.
Fucking pussies. Exactly. Speaking of, hey, while we're still talking about football and mixing finance and football, last season or this past season, Odell Beckham Jr. Decided to take his $750,000 salary in Bitcoin. And I think at the beginning of the year, Bitcoin was somewhere up there around 60,000 or so per Bitcoin.
65,
Yeah. And now it's in the 30s. So I wonder if
Yeah.
he traded in time, because I don't know why it's such a volatile thing that really you want to get paid. Well, no, pay me in cash.
Yeah.
Cash fluctuates, a little bit, but it doesn't fluctuate 50%. The US dollar doesn't fluctuate 50%. Some of these Bitcoin crazy people are like, the US dollar fluctuates. Yeah, but it doesn't fucking fluctuate between, like a US dollar isn't worth 50 cents on the euro up to $1 on the euro or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not that level of flex. So I don't know, to take it in Bitcoin, were you nuts?
Well, this is how I look at it also with him. It's not like you're taking it in Bitcoin. He is. He's got another $6 million a salary coming up very soon. He has Gatorade commercials. He has incentive shoe deals. I mean, 6 million is probably 25 or 30% of his income. So it's not going to be too devastating to him. Now, if we took our money in Bitcoin, it might be a little bit more devastating. I think he'll be okay with it. I mean, me personally, cash is king. I don't know enough about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency to really take chances with it. I just don't know enough about it. I know cash spends, and I can go to a restaurant and throw a $20 bill out there. I don't know if I could throw a Bitcoin out there. So I don't know how that works yet. This is
Well,
what you do.
yeah, well, a lot of people aren't really taking it as an exchange way to do it. There's a few people out there, but it's still just an investment, just a hedge,
Yeah.
just a type of investment to deal with. But interesting, that he would decide to do that.
But like I said, it's all relative. It's like Bill Gates taking a check from somebody for 50,000, which you might do. It's all relative. It's not Odell Beckham's last $6 million. I mean, he has a lot of money in front of it and a lot of money behind it. So he'll be okay if it goes down to 3 million. And then, by the way, Doug, the richer you are, the more shit you get for free. I forget who it was. There was I think it was Charles Barkley. He goes, when I was poor, nobody gave me nothing. He goes, then when I made millions of dollars, everybody's giving me cars and boats and houses. He's like, I can't even spend my money because I got all these millions I can't spend it. He goes, that's why he started gambling, because he couldn't spend his money. Go to the car dealership, like, no, just take the car. When you're one of the elites, you kind of get shit free. Dan Marino was getting free Cadillacs every week from Maroney,
Oh, yeah. Well, he never won a Super Bowl, Dan. Poor Dan. Never won a Super Bowl.
Never won. Never had the defense.
I still laugh when Dan Marino does those commercials. I think it might be for the car commercial where he's like, Dan Marino, the ex NFL quarterback, the family man. I'm like, isn't he the guy that had a child out of wedlock? Didn't he have a child out of wedlock a couple years ago?
He had a domestic abuse problem too with his wife. I could be wrong. Maybe it's somebody else. All the NFL has domestic abuse. That's what I love about the NFL. The NFL teaches us. The back says all these different quality and this and that and this and hate and stop hate. Meanwhile, these motherfuckers are the killers, murderers, rapists. Like 700 people are like more than towns, for crimes, and these are the ones that are telling me. They're telling my white ass to behave. Everybody else is doing whatever the fuck they want to do. I love it.
This is Charlie Ferrone from the NFL telling you to be nice to your family, be good to your kids, and donate to charity.
And my wife and my kids.
And the and all that shit. Hold on a second. Yeah. Bitch, I told you to make me some fucking pudding. Yeah. Crazy, man.
Oh yeah. I love the, how that is, and that's another reason, I'll be honest with you, man. I used to love football, and we talked about this, but I can't stand that I have to look at the back of the 49ers helmets and they're telling me to stop hate. I'm not hating nobody. Well, why the fuck is everything directed to us? Who have I hated? I don't hate anybody, bro. And it's just so funny that, I have to look at that dumb shit. I had mixed feelings about the 49ers game because, they started the kneeling and everything, but I hate Rodgers. So it was like, do I fucking go against this or do I go against that? But they're going to get their ass kicked in the next round, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, to wrap up our football discussion, what's the lineups now? So San Francisco's playing.
San Francisco plays Kansas City, Mahomes. Oh no, right. I'm lying. Joe Burrows plays Pat Mahomes, and the Rams, Matthew Stafford plays the 49ers. And my prediction is going to be the Rams against Mahomes, and Mahomes will win his second Super Bowl because that guy is ridiculous. I think Buffalo had the best chance of.
I was definitely surprised Buffalo didn't win that game. I mean, that was one hell of a fucking game. I even a friend of mine, Brian Dunkelman, comedian. He was also original host of the American Idol with Seacrest. He's a huge Buffalo fan. Yeah, and I texted him. I go, dude, because when they scored, I thought, oh, congratulations, man! Fucking what a game! And then fucking 30 seconds later, oops.
Oh, I
I
think it was
fucking jinxed
14
it.
seconds later. He
Yeah,
didn't, like you
13.
said, Doug. Yeah, 13 seconds, I think it was. If they would have kicked it on to the 3 yard line, he would have ran it back to the 24, 23. 7 seconds would have came off the clock on that run back. They would have had
Right.
5 seconds to get one. They got 2 plays off. That's what did it. One play, they don't do it. They don't do it. You
Yeah.
can throw
No,
15, 20 yards. 40 yards is hard.
well, that's crazy. Well, I think we did a good job, by the way, Mark. I think we did a pretty good job not mentioning Biden, although I think we did already mention him. Yeah, that's right. I was going to
A little
say,
bit.
but it's great. I love the way Biden. Here again, talk about hypocrisy. He wants to be the nice guy. He's a sweet old man, but then he calls a fucking he calls
Peter Ducey.
Ducey, the guy from Fox News, a
I love Peter
stupid son
Ducey.
of a bitch. Yeah.
Now, I didn't see this. I didn't see it, so I heard about this. Was his mic on? He didn't know his mic was on. See underneath his breath, and his mic was on, or did he just come out and say, "You're a stupid son of a bitch"? Not that it matters either way.
No, he had, his mic was on, and I guess there was some questions going on while the press conference was happening. And he said something about he
Okay.
mentioned Ducey mentioned something about inflation and this and that, and he goes, "Yeah, whatever, stupid son of a
Stupid
bitch,"
son of a bitch.
you know.
And you know what's
Um,
funny? Go ahead, man. But if
okay.
Trump would have said that, oh my God, how do you talk to a reporter like this? Trump told that one guy, "Sit down, you talk too much, sit down," and they lost their minds. I
Yeah.
forget who it was. That idiot he always has a problem with. But to say this to a media person, I mean, listen. I have no problem with it because if I was the president, I'd probably say the same shit. But don't have a problem one way and not have a problem the
Yeah.
other way. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Yeah.
the issue.
Trump had an issue that one time when he told that lady, "What a stupid question," because of course, she was a black woman asking a racist question. And he's
Of
like, "What a
course,
stupid fucking question." He was like, out of all the shit we could talk about, you're going to bring up this,
of course.
it's so, but yeah, of course. And then it made, he's a KKK member.
But you
Just
know what?
nuts.
I had no problem with anybody speaking their mind. I like what Biden saying, that doesn't even bother me. I just hate that the left has a problem with one problem and not the other. This is not a problem, but it's a problem when another person does it that doesn't think like they think. That's the issue I have. You know what? If someone says a stupid question, then you should be able to say that's a stupid question. It's freedom of speech. There should be no consequences for that. But
Yeah.
it's got to go both ways. It's just got to go both ways. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is interesting. Neil Young. I'm a fan of his music.
I
Yeah,
love Neil
still
Young.
rocking in the free world. Great,
Cinnamon Girl.
fucking
Great.
iconic musician
Yeah.
for our history and our country. But he's an incredible liberal. You know what I
Oh
mean? This
my God.
guy.
Might be the biggest liberal
And
there is.
yeah, and I heard him on Howard Stern, which I mean, I can't. It's funny. I try to listen to Howard
Howard Stern
Stern
became
because
an asshole. He's become such an asshole, dude. Oh,
he's
he's
a
with the
fucking
he's good.
he went from being a radical dude and stuff like that to being a fucking elitist, and
Yep.
and he's always talking to, and oh my God, Howard Stern got in trouble, right, when he said that if you're unvaccinated and you go to hospital, they shouldn't let people in the hospital that are unvaccinated.
Who the fuck is he, man?
And this pussy stays home all day because he's so scared he's going to catch the virus. His immune system's got to be weaker than shit. You know what I mean? Compared to everybody else who's just running around out there. And again, people don't understand that's the way it is.
Look, I
Since
just want
day
to say
one,
one
we
thing
knew
real
this.
quick. Let me
Uh,
just say something real quick, and I apologize, man. But my sister-in-law, is having so many, and no one's is keeping this hush, hush, hush. She's having so much complications from her shot. I think it was Moderna. She's having so many complications. She's been through lab work, and it's going on now for a year. And she's trying to get the word out, and everybody's keeping it hush, hush. The shot's safe, and it's not safe. And I'm finding that out now more and more. And I'm gonna come out and say it, man, because I feel bad for her. She's having lots of issues. She was a relatively healthy person, never had any problems. And ever since she got her second shot, she's been, and it's not just her. There's a whole group of people. It's very hush hush, and nobody knows about this.
yeah.
But there's a whole group of people. There's a lot of issues going on with this vaccine. A lot of issues, man.
Well,
And
if you go to the CDC website, you'll show that there's 30,000 people who died. It's on the website. They're not, they put it on there, and they also have something there, people that are complained about, side effects. It's like, huge number too. So, a huge number too. I think Biden just spoke, but, but absolutely. And again, I mean, the theory, it's just ridiculous how we are. These people, this division in our country about vaccinated, unvaccinated families. Our own family, had an issue with it. Because when I caught COVID, people in my family said it must have been Doug. He's not vaccinated. Forget the fact that anybody could have fucking brought that virus into the
Yeah.
house. But it was my fault because I'm not vaccinated. And but it's just incredible how something this stupid. If somebody doesn't want to get vaccinated to protect themselves from a virus that has a 99% survival rate, are you fucking kidding me? I
Yeah.
mean, how can you even question somebody for that? Well, you don't trust it. Oh, you're not
No, I don't trust it. No, I don't trust it, Doug. You know why I don't trust it? Because it was rushed. It was rushed. They had to get something right away. It's like you have to get a criminal off the streets. And you say, he did it. He did it after no trial. He did, because you have to get someone off the streets. This thing was rushed. It was rushed. I mean, we don't have cures for a lot of things right now that are 30, 40, 50 years in. Okay. This thing was rushed. We don't know what's going inside the body. Nobody knows what's in these vaccines. Nobody knows.
Right.
And there is problems with them. People have died from these vaccines. So why not take the risk if you're a healthy person? Listen, if you're 85, 86 years old, it might be worth the risk of getting the vaccine. It might be worth it. But if you're a healthy guy and you're relatively healthy in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, fuck no. I don't think you should have to get it. You could die. Sure, you could die. Meatloaf did. Meatloaf was also 75 and he was 80 pounds overweight, So, you have to do what's best for you. You have to do what's best for you.
Yeah. In other words, mind your own fucking business. Whether I get vaccinated or not isn't going to kill you. This theory that people think that, you do you take care of you, people who get vaccinated are dealing with less hospitalizations because of Omicron. No, it's less facts. It's less hospitalizations because the fucking it's not that bad. And in my personal little experience, the people who were vaccinated got a lot sicker than I did in our family, and I'm not vaccinated.
No one knows the facts, Doug. No one knows the facts. Nobody knows it, and that's the problem. They listen to what they want to listen to on the news, on their CNN, whatever they listen to, but no one knows facts. I don't know them. You don't know them. They don't know them. We don't know.
Listen, Bill Maher pointed that out a few weeks ago. He says, if you listen to CNN, they were under the impression that people that get COVID 45% of the time go to the hospital. That's what that's what the CNN viewer believed. Versus somebody else who watched other means. They're like, because it's all bullshit. By the way, going back to this, so Neil Young, he has his music on Spotify, and he doesn't want his music on Spotify now because Joe Rogan's on there. Complete fucking. I mean, you know what? Don't fucking put Neil Young's music on fucking Spotify. I mean, as big as an artist as Neil Young is, I can tell you at this moment in time, I'm going to guess Joe Rogan has a lot more listenership and a lot more traction on that thing than Neil Young songs.
I don't want to go to the beach because my friend Tim's going. Yeah, I mean, there's a guy named Tim that goes to the beach. I mean, it's so stupid.
Not even just that beach, Mark, but not even that. If you look at that analogy, as big as Spotify is an open, it's like I'm not going to go to the beach because that asshole goes to a beach on the West Coast.
Yeah, I mean, it's so stupid, and people are going to say, "Holy shit, Neil Young's not on Spotify. I can't listen to that song from 1952. I can't go on Spotify now." You know what I'm saying? That's like Blaine Gabbert. That's like Blaine Gabbert saying, "Listen, man, I'm not playing football if this doesn't happen. I don't give a fuck, Blaine Gabbert. We don't care."
Yeah, it's Thank you, Neil. I guess we won't be listening to my oh my.
I mean, he was good back in the day. He was good back in the day in the 70s when I was smoking weed and fucking hanging out at the beach. Now I don't give a fuck, I'm an old man.
There's a few songs I like. I never bought his albums. Never, you know what I mean? You gotta, but you get as an artist, you gotta the guy is iconic. But at this point, it's like, again, the older you get, you turn into a fucking child, like a spiteful child. I don't want to be on the same Spotify network as Joe Rogan. Get over it, you fucking putz.
Yeah. If I can't play the game, I'm taking my ball home. It's like, it's that mentality. Like, you're so above everybody else. Nobody gives a fuck, you're above everybody else. I'd rather listen to Joe Rogan. I don't even like Joe Rogan. I'd rather listen to him. Not that I don't like him. I just, he's okay, Rogan.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. Right. Moving on. I thought this story was pretty cool. Militarized dolphins protect almost a quarter of the U.S. nuclear stockpile. And it obviously isn't the Miami Dolphins because those guys can't protect you.
Yeah.
This was I always knew that they had those stories like in the World War II or something. They trained dolphins to find subs and stuff like that. That they put camera um, and things like that.
They're
But
smart animals. I can see them doing it. They're smart animals, And
yeah,
then we now we know they have large clitorises too. Not only are they smart, they have very big clitorises. So why not put them
that's
underwater?
right. That's right. I mean, what else?
That's
I'm
interesting,
trying to
actually.
get. Yeah, I'm trying to get to my story here. Yeah, says here that the 20 miles from Seattle Naval Base Kitsap, secret deterrence. They have a lot of stuff there. Since 1967, the Navy has been training dolphins and sea lions. It's a sea lion. It's the sea lion. And probably other marine for military applications such as mine clearing, force protection, and recovery missions.
Nice.
So let's hear it for the
Well,
dolphins.
they say they're one of the smartest animals there is. They say a dolphin's brain is 0.25% larger than Joe Biden's. I think that's what they're saying now. But
Just a quarter.
But they're saying that dolphins are actually pretty smart, man. They're actually smarter than Miami Dolphins. But,
I'd like to see Joe Rogan. I'd like to see Joe Biden jump through a hoop out of the pool, or fucking bounce a ball off his nose. Crazy.
Oh God. Let's get into my story with so now the leaders of Black Lives Matter, the biggest terrorist group I think there is ever.
Did you skip one? You skipped hold on a second, buddy. You skipped the armored car.
Oh, okay. We'll go back to the armored car. Let's start with the Black Lives Matter. Oh, we'll do the armored car.
No, you can't. They're in an order. So
okay, we'll do the armored car. So this is kind of interesting, and I know everybody will be up in arms with this, but I think it's, first of all, it looks badass. That's the first thing. It looks like a badass vehicle. It's pretty cool because it's got some kind of taser system that if you go to carjack and go grab the handle and you're not belonging to the handle, I don't know how it identifies. Mercedes people are pretty smart. It gives you a taser, a shock that's not lethal, but enough to tell you get the fuck away from my car. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But now all the bleeding heart liberals saying, oh, you shocked this guy for no reason. So what? The car's not that important. He got injured. They should have let him steal the car. So that's what's going to be the problem.
Hey, that thief that guy's only stealing the car because he's trying to feed his family. So, what about the guy whose car you're stealing? What about his family now having to fucking come up with money for a new car?
So
listen,
we
know the liberals. This is the thing. We're going to get into this. I think more stories, but the American public is tired of feeling sad for the fucking bad guy, the fucking criminal, the no gooder. The shit piler, the fucking douchebag, the thief, the fucking lack of character, no moral compass. Why do I feel bad for that guy? Fuck him, 6 feet under fucking ground for all I care. Either you play by the rules or you get the fuck out of the playpen. Enough of this horse shit. I don't feel bad for that. Oh, I'm gonna feel bad.
And it's like I said, this is not a race thing. I mean, we've talked about this many times. This is a behavior thing. If you're a low life, I don't give a fuck what color you are. If you're a low life, a piece of shit, I'm not defending you. That's one reason I can never be a lawyer. If I know you're guilty, I'd be like, this motherfucker's guilty. Put him in jail. I'd be disbarred in a moment. But
carjackings have exploded this year, especially since the pandemic. And it's not old dudes; they're young kids. There are a lot of kids, white kids. I mean,
why?
It's not a racial specificity of who's doing this. It's all young kids. They got nothing because they're not in school.
No consequences.
Yeah.
That's why it's rising.
There's actually they can carjack you. Somebody can carjack your car, right? Go to jail, get out of jail, and then carjack another car, and then just keep the process going. Although I guess we're starting to see some pressure on the DAs in these blue states and these blue cities. They're starting to get pressure even from like in New York. Fucking 2 cops were killed. And the new mayor is like, this is fucking enough. Well, when you let your fucking politicians and the ideology, glamorize the fucking criminal, then guess what?
Yeah.
Thank you for making the bed we all got to sleep in.
Exactly. Well, that's the story we were going to get to, and the Black Lives Matter, which I think is the biggest terrorist organization that we've ever seen. I think it's a disgusting, horrible organization.
I wouldn't put them as the biggest terrorist organization. I would have ISIS, Al Qaeda. I would have the IRA.
I'll tell you why they're
Ireland way ahead of that.
I'll tell you why they're bigger. because we know about ISIS and we know it's a demonic thing. ISIS. Everybody in America thinks Black Lives Matter is like the beautiful puppy dog, and it could do no harm, and they're doing a lot of harm, and that's why I think it's worse. That's the main reason why. We know what ISIS is. Everybody knows what ISIS is. Okay, to say that these 2 police officers that were shot and killed, that they don't deserve a hero's welcome, but George Floyd does, suck a dick. But seriously, suck a dick. Double middle fingers, okay? Because George Floyd gets a statue, but these 2 cops, okay, they don't. Then not only do they not get a statue, you're saying that they're not heroes. They're fucking heroes. They have to deal with scum every day. Hey, listen, they're heroes when you need them. When your husband's beating your fucking ass in the kitchen, you're a hero. They're a hero then. So that's why I say Black Lives Matter is such a bad organization, because they're not known to be one. If they were known to be one, then I say they wouldn't be. It's a surprise.
Well, I disagree. I don't think I think I could name multiple terrorist organizations that are much more deadly and have caused a lot more harm.
Explain the difference.
Yes, you're right.
I get it. But we know those are bad organizations. We know that.
Yeah.
People don't know Black Lives Matter is a bad organization.
Well, I think the good thing is that thankfully, through actions and continuous action, more and more people are pulling away from that organization and realizing, not just white people, but Black people are like, you don't speak for me. You're not here to protect the interests of the Black man or the black person on earth. You're only concerned about this aspect. If you really cared about it, there'd be many other things you'd be worried about besides police brutality or racial inequality when it comes to that shit.
Listen,
but again,
we're all equal. We all know we're equal. We don't need an organization to say one race is better than another race. We are all equal on this planet. It's all about behavior. We know that already. So not one organization is any better than the other. And let me tell you something. Most of the crime we have is not white people terrorizing Black people. It's Black people terrorizing Black people. That's the issue. If they really care about Black Lives Matter, which we all care about all colors, I care about all colors, then handle your own name. More people die in Chicago Memorial Day weekend than the United States alone, white on Black crime. How do you like that one? More people in Chicago, Black on Black crime in one weekend than the whole United States, white on Black crime.
Well, we know that there's societal issues. We need to deal with poverty. Most crime happens in impoverished areas.
But what we need to do with that, Doug, we need to do with that, Doug. Okay, that's your structure, your family structure alone. Don't have 9 baby mamas. Have a family time for your kids. You know what I'm saying? That's on your own family. Okay, my family was a very loving family. That's not my fault. Maybe if my dad beat the shit out of me and left my mom, I probably wouldn't be the person I am today. But that's on you. You have to start with your own. You have to start your own and help your own out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let Oprah and all these people help their own people out. Listen, we're all equal. I agree. But you know what? You can't put blame on somebody else. You have to handle your own problem.
Yeah. I agree. Listen, there is when it comes to equality, there is a lot to say that, if a young Black man has a little harder time than a young white man in a sense of what that aspect of it, the profiling, of course, you know what I mean? But that being said, if anything, that, it's like anything, like whatever I like. Okay, when I grew up, I knew I wanted to be a professional soccer player, but I didn't have I was 5'9", and so I worked harder. I did this kind of stuff. It's easy to succumb to whatever it is that's holding you back or can influence your success in life. But that's the difference. That's why this many people succeed and everybody else down here is just kind of floating in the fucking river. So, if you want to win, here's the thing. If you want to win, work your ass off. And if you don't make it, don't blame anybody. If you don't give a shit about winning that much, just be yourself. To know oneself is to know God. But don't be one of these fucking people that are like, I wish I know I deserve this and this person doesn't deserve this. No, you don't fucking, you don't. It's amazing to me the people that don't succeed. If you ask every person who failed in life about this shit and that guy was aggravated about it, you would look at their personal behavior and their disciplines as being very lacking. And that it's nobody else's fault but their own. I'm going to tell you that 1 out of 1 million, 1 out of 1,000, or maybe 10,000 people don't make it because of bad luck. Most of the people that make it, high percentage of them because of make effort. There's a few people that just got a fucking cloud over their head that always seem to have bad shit happen to them.
real quick, the last stories, but real quick, Doug. There's lots of people that have started with nothing with bad families that made it. Okay, lots of people. Ben Carson's one. There's plenty of them. There's plenty of people that have made it in all colors, not just white. There's poor black people, there's poor white people, there's poor Chinese people, there's poor people all over the world. Okay, different areas have different types of poor people. Okay, you know what? It's what you make out of life. And, sometimes you need a break. I agree, you do need a break, but you can't just whine. You have to just push, and push. And we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And real quick, as we're getting tight on time. This is something you'll never hear about on CNN. We'll always hear about, cops are bad. We'll always hear, but we don't hear stories like this. And these are heroes. I think cops are heroes. I really do. I think there's bad people in anything you do in life, But I think, in all, I think police are pretty good people. Okay. Here's a guy that saved a child, and you won't see this on CNN. You just won't. You won't see it. It's not a CNN story. It's a feel-good story. The baby had a problem. I think it was a 5-year-old or a toddler, the 4 or 5-year-old, and this cop took it and cleared its airway, and it survived. But you won't see the story on Fox. On CNN, you won't, because it's a feel-good story.
But then the baby spit up on him. He put 2 bullets in his chest. I mean, that was no fucking, you baby spit on me, bitch. No, yeah. I mean, listen. Every profession has their bad. There's bad accountants. There's bad attorneys. There's bad everything. And I even said I understand why there's more. Let's say a higher percentage of cops that are perhaps tarnished, because look at what they're fucking dealing with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're dealing with ugliness all the fucking time. You're dealing with all kinds of shit. You see the ugliness of humanity. So that eventually that has to fucking wear on you a bit. So and lose your temper, and this kind of. That's why
you walk in somebody's shoes. Until you walk in somebody's shoes, you don't know what they're dealing with. Cops deal with shit every day.
I still remember my father saying that to me when he gave me that advice. If you ever get pulled over and stuff like that, he goes, just know that the cop who's pulling you over may have just lost his partner, may have just got divorced because his wife's sleeping with his chief, shit like that's going on. You know what I mean? And so you get just be more patient. I mean, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah, how many tickets I've gotten out of just being nice, man.
You're white, Mike. That's white. Mark, that's white privilege. That's all it is, man. If you were black, you wouldn't have got out of those fucking tickets.
Bullshit. Let me tell you something. I know I was in the police department. I know a lot, and that's the myth everybody says. Try being nice and see what happens, man. Try being nice and see what. Let me tell you something. Cops are like anybody else, man. If you behave and you act nice and you have good behavior, they're going to try to find a way of. Man, listen, there's some cops that are assholes. It won't work. But not everyone's like that. And if you're a nice person, it works. It works.
Definitely, if you have an attitude with a cop, a nice cop will turn into an asshole pretty quick. If you're an asshole to him or her.
Exactly. And the last story, man. We'll tell. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I apologize.
No, this is great. Go ahead. I think a lot of cops would like more criminals like this.
Yeah, this is a great story, man. I want to make sure. I'm see if I even have his name, but here's a guy. Him and his friends were actually having ice cream or whatever they were doing. They called the bank and they said, "Hey, listen, guys, we're going to be there in about 35 minutes. Have the money ready. I want unmarked bills and put it in a bag, and I want to get in and out like a drive-thru. Like how you order food, like you order at a restaurant. I want a sandwich. I want a pizza. Yeah. He pre-ordered this. He says, I want the money in the bag. I want it ready. He got there, and what do you think was waiting? If you tell somebody 30 minutes before, what do you think was waiting for him? All the police, the whole town, every police officer was sitting there with guns blazing, and these guys walked in with 2 bags, getting ready to rob them. But he tipped the cops off, and needless to say, they went to jail. But in today's society, he will be out, right away. They'll be out. They're probably robbing another bank as we speak.
Well, I don't know. When you rob a bank, it's a federal crime. It's not it's a federal crime that is 20 years. Even if it's $1,000, you could spend a minimum of 20 years. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. This is a great example of how our youth, as smart as they are, they speak languages, the technology and all this shit, but it's the common sense. They got the younger generation are much smarter in the technical aspects of things, but when it comes to common fucking understanding, what a bunch of fucking, here's what we're going to do, man. I got a great idea. We're going to rob a bank, but we're not going to go there and wait for them to get the money because we need to get a quick getaway. We're going to call them first and let them know we're stealing the shit. We'll be there at 2 o'clock.
Hey, can you imagine if the money was sitting there waiting with nobody there? Like, oh, here's your money. You can go. Oh, thank you. I'll see you later. See you next week.
A bunch of people sat behind the.
Yeah.
We've been here
And
for
so
20 minutes. You guys are late.
but that's a great story. But you know what? It's almost unbelievable, but it is a true story. Like, who the fuck would do that, man? It's like telling your wife, like, listen, I got a chick in the house. Do me a favor, don't come home for 20 minutes. I need 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, it just doesn't work, Doug. You know.
Yeah.
That being
It's
said,
not.
man, our time's up, man. We did 45 minutes today. You know, it's
Wow.
been 2 weeks, man. You know, I miss doing this, man. It's a lot of fun. I like doing this. You know, I like the banter. I like getting the message out. It's a vent. This is how I vent. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But guys,
Yeah.
we need your support. We really do. We need the support. If you like it, subscribe, man. It doesn't cost anything. You know what? It makes us, want to do more shows and everything. But we are getting a lot of feedback out of this,
Yeah.
and it's a
Subscribe
lot
to
of fun.
us. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Hanging with Mark and Dougie. Like our fan page on Facebook at Hanging with Mark and Dougie Show. Share the videos when they come out and share them, tell them to your friends that think like-minded. And yeah, help us spread the word, man.
Just comments. This should be called the Common Sense Show, because all we talk about is common sense, bro. Some people can't handle common sense; they get mad. But I think it's
No.
more common sense. Doug, what you got going on?
I'm home. I was in Florida all week, so I'm home. I got some local gigs and shit like that. I'm upset. I had a bunch of shows in Florida in February, but they were canceled because of COVID. And I'm going to eat my plane ticket. And but I'm going to be at Fort Walton Beach on Saturday, February 5th, headlining The Block, the Comedy Zone in Fort Walton Beach. I'll be there that Saturday, February 5th. So if you're in the Fort Walton, Pensacola area, Florida Panhandle, come and see me at the Comedy Zone in Fort Walton Beach.
Nice. And me, I do what I do, man. I enjoy what I do. And yeah, man, if you got some stuff, bring it over to my shop, 418 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach. And you need an appraisal. You need to see what something's worth, or just want to come and say hi, please do. And that's it, man. We'll see you in 2 weeks, and enjoy. Peace.
Thanks, fellas. See you then.
All right, Doug.